Good evening. Hope everyone's doing well. I know that I skipped out a couple of days. I'd let you know about the first one. I didn't put anything up for yesterday. That is what it is. I got quite a bit done yesterday, and I just wasn't in the mood. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I said when I came back, and I'm gonna say it again. You know, don't count on there being every single, the usual schedule, Sunday through Thursday. I might miss days. It is what it is. That's all I can say. Um, I'm as dedicated to YouTube as YouTube is dedicated to me. I'll put it that way. So, um, pretty much the long and the short of it. I, it is what it is. People that are here that tell the truth, people that are here that are trying to be authentic and genuine, don't get anywhere. And I'm not going to change and do all the YouTubey things just so I can grow subscribers and views, and I'm not going to do it, you know? Um, Whether it be news, news is a hard sell, especially if you're telling the truth. Because you've always got people that demand to cheer for this politician or that politician, and it doesn't matter what they do, the politicians, that is. Um, if you tell the truth about a politician, people that support them get upset. And so that's not plausible. And in the prepping space, right? And I'm going to keep beating on that prepping space because I'm hoping that I can help some people. I don't know what to tell folks other than they need to look other places for preparedness information, because there's a lot of really dumb mindsets on YouTube when it comes to it. And, the channels, you either got to give away a bunch of free stuff or you have to sell yourself in some way, whether it be being a product whore or whether it be just trying to act too cool for school, whatever the case may be. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Could be that guy. I have been that guy. But that's not what I'm supposed to do. And if you knew me during my chat days, the chat networks, you would understand real quick just how much of that guy I could be. I was a character. I was a character. I could charm the pants off a snake. I don't want nothing to do with that anymore. My life made a total turnaround. And I'm just here to tell you how things are. When it comes to the preparedness stuff, I don't pull any punches with it. You literally got larger YouTube channels out there that will run me into the ground because I know things. And this is the surreal part. I have done everything to try to get those types of individuals to actually address me a one-on-one, not in comments or not in a chat. No, let's do it live. Let's do it live. But they won't do it because they think they know. Hell, I used to have fun with pinball, because I would tag them in a community post and he'd be dumb enough to take the bait. And I don't know if he genuinely thought that I was some stupid dude or what. But I got news for him. I haven't spent my life building as big of a belly as I can, pushing a desk. Plain and simple. I built my life doing things, many different things. Speaking of that, I did get the video uploaded early this morning to YouTube over on Oddball's Odd Repair. And I do have it up just so you can see a little bit of it. So if you guys are interested in checking that stuff out, I had a customer had an Xbox, or not an Xbox, he'd probably shoot me, a PlayStation 5 that kept overheating and shutting down. And I've never, like I said in the video, I've never even been in the same room as a PlayStation 5 before. I have no interest in consoles. And really no interest in gaming. I do the flight sim stuff, that's really it. But I told the guy, it's just a little computer, you know, doesn't intimidate me. And so he brought it over. And it took me just over 2 hours. Mind you, I was fiddling with the camera and all that stuff, so I could videotape it as well. So I could have probably gotten it done in under 2 hours, maybe hour and a half, hour 45 minutes if I wasn't, you know, playing with video cameras. But all I can do is, you know, is show people, look, I do this stuff. This is what I do. You would think that when somebody proves what they do, you would think others' ears might open. But it doesn't work that way. That's why I talk a lot against ego. Because, man, ego will destroy you. It will destroy you. Not only will it destroy, because ego destroys others too. You know, not just the person with the ego, but a lot of people that are in contact with the person with ego, they get destroyed too. And I think about this stuff. Man, a guy that I was really, really close to at one time, he battled alcohol off and on throughout his life. And, you know, at one time he got on top of it, and he used the Father to get on top of it, and became very religious. I use that term exactly. Very religious. Not a bit spiritual, but very religious. As I see many do, he used the word as a weapon. He used the word, you know, he went from being controlling because he was drunk to controlling because he could tell you a Bible verse off the top of his head and make it apply to anything, and that's not how we're supposed to use the word. He says, I've talked about him before. I swear, I would swear on a stack of Bibles if I had them in front of me, that he can sit there and tell you exactly who begat who and all that and not miss a single one. He knows it word for word that well. But he doesn't have the slightest clue of what it really means. And I love him to this day like a brother. I always will. But let me tell you what ego and control does. He was married for many years. And it was not necessarily good. Sure, they had plenty of good moments, but boy, I know of a lot of bad moments. And so eventually, she had finally had enough and divorced him. I don't remember exactly how long it was after they divorced. She had moved on, was with somebody else, and all that. But because of all those years of abuse, and I'm talking about mental, I don't know if there was ever any physical, that I honestly don't know. But due to all those years of mental abuse, and him using the word of God against her, she took her own life. So, when I say ego, and ego is the father of control, ego damages everybody around you. And what you don't realize is it damages you as well. It certainly unseats you from the table with the Father. And if you can't tell that by reading the Word, read it again. So, I don't know. I'm kind of... I don't know the best word to put on my mood, my attitude. Fed up. That's part of it. I'm done with games. The nonsense I've been through. And that's why I'm not, I said I could charm the pants off a snake. That's no joke. I don't want to be that guy. I'm done being that guy. That guy got me in lots of trouble. Lots of trouble. Right? That guy got me married to a wife and us living with my girlfriend. That's what that guy got me. So, I don't want to be that guy. And if I have to forever eat humble pie when I come here, I will. In fact, I'll gleefully do it. But it's frustrating when you get knocked down by people that's done pretty much nothing aside from pushing a desk all their life, telling me that I don't know how to do this stuff when they have no damned idea what I've actually done. But yeah, that was my latest job. It was cleaning out that PlayStation 5 and getting all the dust out of it and getting them back up and going. It was 5 years old. I actually didn't think it was too awful bad for being 5 years old. I know it looks like a lot of dust, but 5 years? Hell, my computer right now is about half there in a month's time. So I really got to get it tore down in the next couple of days and clean it out, because that thing is a massive dust magnet. But anyway, if you want to see me, it wasn't really a how-to video. That's not the point of it. The Oddballs Odd Repair channel isn't a how-to channel. I'm not there to teach people how to do stuff. I mean, I would. I'm not opposed to it. But it's basically to show people what it is I do and the scope of things that I can do. Because, like, you see that. I click on here. And I don't have a lot of stuff there yet. I got a jack that I repaired. Of course, a while back, I repaired a printer. Here, let me go to this. I repaired a printer. That was me diagnosing it. And I did put the bike up over there that I had built. But, and there'll be plenty more. I've done other jobs that I don't have videos for. I replaced the starter on a lady's lawnmower. And I replaced the front brake pads on a Ford Focus, I guess that was about a week or so ago. And I don't have videos of those. So, anyway, that's the idea of this channel, is to show the people the different types of things that I do and work on. And, it's more of a local thing, to be honest. But, anywho, so that's going well. And I'm sure work is probably going to pick up. Like anything else, and especially with a smaller town, word of mouth is everything. And so once people know just how much of a real deal I am and just how cheap of a deal they're going to get, believe me, I'll be plenty busy. And when I posted that video of the PS5, I let people know my hourly rates. It's $20. $20 an hour. You show me a shop that will charge $20 an hour. So that's my labor rate, $20 an hour. The only way that would change is if it would be something ungodly, hard. There are some things I probably would change that up for. But for the most part, $20 an hour. That's it. I'm not out there to rip people off. I'm not out there to get rich. I'm not out there because why? Because the Father doesn't stand for that stuff. It is what it is. And the number one thing that I am concerned with in my life is that I keep the Father happy. Because I've pissed him off enough. And I've seen what happens when you don't keep the Father happy. And I want no more part of that. All I can do as it is hope it's within his will that I see my boys before I pass. That's my biggest wish in the world. Because I'm coming up on a birthday on the 19th of this month. I'm not so quite sure I'm going to make it around that big bright ball another time. I'm just not. There's just too many health issues that I'm having. I certainly wouldn't be banking on it. That knot on the back of my neck, you guys can't see it now because of my hair. But it's just continuing to get bigger and harder. It is what it is. Can't do nothing about it. Can't do nothing about it. So, I'm not going to come to YouTube or anywhere else and just play games. Because I know my days are numbered. And I've done a lot of screwing up in my lifetime. I don't have any interest in continuing that. But anyway, I know that's a long far away from what the show title is and what I really intended to talk about. But I just want people to understand, because of where that came from. If I don't do a show, I said when I came back that it, kind of a kind of thing, and I meant it. I won't tell you something I don't mean. I'm not one of those people. That's why I don't have too many lovers out there. Lots of haters, not so many lovers, because I tell it how it is. Whether it be here on YouTube, whether it be in real life, in person, I'll tell you how it is. Plain and simple. Pretty much always been that way. I'm not one to pull punches. I was raised to not be a weasel. I was raised that your word was everything. And I took that to heart. Anyway, I only have one news article up tonight, and that's dealing with this Habeas Corpus stuff. There's another incident. I don't have the article brought up, but I am going to bring up the incident so I could ask for prayers and thoughts. There was they call it an after-school camp, is what they call it. It initially was described as a daycare, but it's an after-school camp. It's what they call it. And this is now the name of the town bounced right out of my head. It's in Illinois. It's up near Springfield ish. I think I might have talked about it the last show I did. Maybe. Not sure. It's driving me nuts. I can't remember. Hang on. Chatham is the name of the town. I don't know why I couldn't remember it. Chatham, Illinois. And there was an incident. Let's see. They're saying Tuesday, on the 29th, they said Tuesday. Hang on. Okay, maybe that was. I guess maybe it has only been a couple of days. Okay. It kind of seemed like it was a little bit longer than that. I guess not. So anyway, this individual in a car apparently went through a field. I don't know what kind of field, but apparently went through a field. Had hit 3 people that were standing outside of this after-school camp. Well, hit more than that, but 3 people died out from the outside. There was one person inside that was hit that unfortunately died. And we're talking 2 7-year-olds, an 8-year-old, and an 18-year-old. And when it happened, I initially said, this is one of 2 things. Either it's a medical emergency, or it's somebody with some serious intent. And the reason why is because the car didn't just run into the building. The car ran through the building. After it ran through the building, it went on to some kind of a court. I don't know if basketball court or what, but went on to some kind of a court, hit a pole, and that's what essentially stopped the vehicle from moving any further, was a pole. And so, it came out today. Because it's really weighed on me. I don't, when harm comes to children, I don't process that so well. And it came out today, the Illinois State Police said that they do believe that it was a medical incident. And they did go as far as saying that it wasn't alcohol or drugs. So, it's a shame. And I ask for thoughts and prayers for all of those involved in that. And I can't find a good word to put on it. Tragedy is a word, but it's not. I don't know if there's a word in the English language that really describes how horrifying that is. Maybe I'm a little sensitive to that stuff. Not only because I haven't seen my kids for 11 years, but because many, many, many years ago, my best friend was staying where I was living at the time. He would stay in the night. We hung out. And him, his girlfriend, and their 2 children was staying the night. And I get woke up early in the morning. I think they tried waking me up a couple of times. I was a super heavy sleeper. It took unbelievable amounts to wake me up. And first couple of times I didn't get up. Third time I really caught what was being said. And what I was being told is the little girl's name was Brianna. Is that Brianna's dead. 6-month-old baby girl. So I literally leaped out of bed and ran into the living room where they spent the night at. And there are some things that won't ever go away. Not even a little bit. Howdy, Kevin. It is indeed sad. I went into the living room and I knew, first things first, CPR, right? So scooped her up off because they had her on a chair. That's where she was 6 months old. They had her, they had it safe to where she wasn't going to roll off the chair and nothing like that. It was like a big, comfy, nice living room chair. Not one, though, that she would have been able to suffocate with. You know what I mean? It wasn't that. And so I scooped my hands underneath of her. And the moment that I lifted up, because I was getting ready to put her on the floor so I could perform CPR, and it was very apparent that she had been gone for a while already. There was no doubt about it. No doubt. But I am who I am. And I went ahead and laid her body on the floor and started performing CPR, even knowing there was absolutely no hope. I couldn't not do it. There isn't anything on this planet that could have stopped me from doing that. And I performed CPR until the paramedics got there and took over. At that point, I scooped up their other little girl, which was older, and scooped her up and took her outside. We went for a walk. Talk about the pretty flowers and the trees and anything other than what was going on inside. And that was a very incredibly hard time for me. And it still is. So I've got a little bit of a soft spot when it comes to kids and when it comes to harm that could befall them. And I think why this thing is affecting me so much is because, okay, it's not been completely confirmed yet that it was a medical emergency, but that is what they are expecting. I think it's easier when we have somebody we can blame. And when unfortunate events happen, and there is no one to blame, I think it makes it even harder to deal with. It's harder to find closure. Not that I'm saying it's a positive thing to find closure by blaming people, because it's not. I agree, Kevin, about when they mistreat animals. Yep, I agree. I will never get over Brianna. That is a wound that will never, ever heal. And I can deal with it, and I call it deal with it. I'm not dealing with it. It's just it happened so many years ago. We're talking 3 decades ago. It's just I'm distant now. And I had a lot of problem at the time dealing with my anger over it. I wasn't taking it out on other people. I definitely had some not so kind words to say to the father. That was rough. And so when I think about the parents of the children from that after-school camp, it's what I think. It's what I think about. I go because if it was indeed a medical emergency, that's not that person's fault. They had no control. And I guess that event, if you will, had kind of brought back those wounds. But anyway, let's move on to what I titled the show after, and that's a hole that once I get starting down, it's hard to get back out of it. So bear with me. But apparently there's been some, what were they called? Influencers, I guess. I really wish people knock it off with that stuff. Influencers. No idols, folks. No idols. But apparently, some MAGA influencers were trying to get Trump to consider suspending habeas corpus. Now, I'm going to make this very clear. Two things I want to make very clear. Number one, it's not actually been denied. It's not actually been denied. It's been sidestepped by Caroline Leavitt, but it's not just been denied. The other thing, how many times now have we seen a story come out and they denied it completely? And then we turn around in short order and they admit it. And I'm talking about this Trump administration. That's happened more times, I know, than I could count on one hand. I can guarantee you that. Where they initially denied the claims and then it came out that it was true. I have to look at that. This habeas corpus is a big deal. That's literally our due process. And if they would suspend it, it wouldn't be the first time. I think it was suspended 3 times prior. But we aren't the same nations as prior. I think that the individuals that were in control before at least had some morality, and they were, I think at least they thought they were doing the right things, and in many cases I believe they were. But let's see, Abraham Lincoln suspended it during the Civil War. Ulysses, however you say his name, Grant suspended it in 9 South Carolina counties during a spate with the Ku Klux Klan. And Franklin Roosevelt declared martial law in Hawaii after the attack on Pearl Harbor. So you're talking about 2 of them that were just states involved, right? And 1 with the Civil War to where it was the country. And I'm going to be honest, it shouldn't have been suspended in them times either. The Founding Fathers didn't write the Constitution and the Bill of Rights to have parts of it removed at will to fit the moment. That's, in fact, I would say that's what they were trying to work against. They wanted a solid foundation to this nation, to where it wasn't guesswork what the rules were going to be the next day, or who was going to have to follow them and who didn't have to. Now we don't live in the same kind of country. We don't have the same kind of citizens. We don't have the same kind of government. And no, I do not trust the Trump administration to suspend habeas corpus. And even further, I don't trust the next administration, whoever that might be. And just going by, 52 years of life, I would say there's a pretty good chance that the next president is going to be a Democrat. Not because it's certainly not anything that I want, but because that pretty much follows the trend. I think that if they revoke habeas corpus now, I don't think we'll ever see it back. If there was anything that the Patriot Act should have told us, is that when they take those powers, they are not going to relinquish them. And I'm sorry, I can't put on the blinders with Trump. Obama repealed the Smith-Mundt Act, which prevented the government from propagandizing its own people. Obama repealed that. And Trump, neither in his first term or this one, has shown any interest to reinstate it. Why? Why? Because they're not going to give us an inch. They're going to take plenty. They're not going to give any. So I'm concerned about this. I am truly, truly concerned about this. And the games, I intended to do a show last night, and I made a short little video, and I had a question to pose to you. And that question still stands. With the volatility of everything going on, and the games that some of these individuals are playing, it would not shock me to see Walmart let the shelves go bare, to see Amazon pull back on what it offers, and say that it's all because of the tariffs. Howdy, Walter. Because if they did that, if they really put the screws to the American people and really scared the American people over these tariffs, and that would do it, that would probably harm the rest of Trump's presidency. So we got to watch for those games. At the same time, don't go running around your house with your hair on fire, folks. Because a lot of the fear-mongering that's going on out there is insane. Are things going to go up? Yeah. Things are always going to go up. But as far as the tariffs, yeah. Yeah, they are. But I'm also watching things come down. I've been on egg watch. I'll call it egg watch. I've been on egg watch for months. Right? Our eggs got up, I think it was like $28.47, something like that, for a box of 60 eggs at Walmart. And it stayed there for a good long while. And I seen the price drop down finally. After several months, it dropped down from 28 down to 24 something. And I think it was there at 24 something for 2 months, maybe 3 months. Egg Watchman, that's right. And so I looked this morning, And I'm happy to say that eggs for the same 60 count box is $19 even. So, hey, eggs are coming down. But don't give that too much credit, because it's easy to bring the cost of one single item down. You just increase the supply, right? And obviously we know Trump's been trying to get eggs from other countries and stuff like that. So between importing eggs and I'm sure that the egg factories are probably starting to get production back a little bit. So it'll get better. The eggs will come down even more, as long as they don't keep killing millions of chickens over nonsense. I don't think that was by accident. The egg thing, I don't think that was happenstance. I think that was intentionally done by the last administration. In fact, I have no doubt about it. But, and I looked at other prices. I looked at the cost of coffee. That hadn't gone up any. And I know there was some, talk that the coffee was going to go insane too. Nope, same price as it was last month. Same price as it was the month before, which is damn high. It's $16 and some odd cents for the 37-ounce Folgers 100% Colombian, which is what I drink. I'm not drinking it tonight. I've got tea tonight. Not in the mood for coffee tonight. And I ate Chef Boyardee a little bit earlier. And I have acid reflux pretty bad. And the combination of the two, coffee and... no, I have to pick one. If I would have had both, oh my gosh, it would have been a bad night. Because I've got reflux problems now. Never used to, but I do now. But anyway, I'm concerned about this notion or this thought about him suspending habeas corpus, because that won't end well for any of us. So we'll see on that. Other things going on. I believe Ukraine actually signed the mineral deal. And I know I've seen the headlines saying, I know damn well I've seen the headlines saying that he did. But, yeah, putting your name on a pretty piece of paper and actually following through may not be the same thing. It was... That's funny, Kevin. But, we'll see. And that's concerning, too. Because when I play that out in my head, this is what I see. One second. Sure you don't want to hear me honk my honker. I sound like the stereotypical truck driver when I blow my nose, right? That windows start shaking and... No, I'm kidding. So when I game this out in my head, let's say Zelensky signed it, which he apparently did. Let's say Zelensky follows through. See, I think what Trump was wanting to do before he really threw any weight in any direction was secure those minerals, because they're rare earth minerals, the very kind that we need. And so I honestly think Trump was playing both sides there for a bit, trying to find out who he could strike a deal and get fresh ink on a piece of paper with first. And I think that if Russia would have been the one to sign the dotted line first, I think Trump would have pushed that pretty much all the area that Russia currently is in control of would remain with Russia. Why do I say that? Because that's where a lot of these rare earth minerals are. However, now that Zelensky has at least signed the dotted line, I can see that Trump will likely push against Russia keeping the areas that they currently hold. Now, Crimea is not on the table, and Trump has made that very clear. But you've got Donetsk, you've got Lugansk, you've got Kherson. I think there's another one or two in there. And I believe that Donetsk and Lugansk, if I'm not mistaken, have already had a vote or whatever. I know two of them had already had a vote and have decided they want to be with Russia. But that's neither here nor there. So I think at this point now, Trump is eyeing up the prospect of trying to get Zelensky back some of those territories. Now, how is that going to pan out with Putin? That's the $1 million question. Oh, wow. See, Walter, I heard that we had plenty of it here, but I didn't know. I didn't know why it is that we don't. I mean, but there again, look at all the oil we've got, the natural gas we've got. I mean, we've got resources out the wazoo. And yeah, I understand that Trump's trying to unload some of it. You know, he's trying to get the oil wells going again. He's trying to get, natural gas going again. He's trying to get rid of all this crazy climate stuff. But yeah, I didn't know that as far as not having the refineries to be able to do it. I think then, by golly, we should be building some refineries to do it. That's American jobs. Yep, Kevin, I agree with you there about Greenland, about that being about more minerals and being in control of the Atlantic Ocean. I absolutely agree there. Greenland's a very strategic place. But I don't think it's just about that. Trump is a real estate guy. And that's what it seems like he's doing here. He's won Canada, he's won Panama, he's won Greenland. Seems like to me that he's just trying to put together a bunch of real estate deals, so to speak, to build the American empire. And it almost seems like that might even be a little more important in his mind than little old us. But time will tell on that. And I agree with you that, Walter, that Russia's not leaving those areas. I am concerned that as a result of that, the NATO and or the United States might get drug into this anyway. So we'll see. And then you've got option number 3, and I never forget about option number 3. I urge you never to forget about option number 3. And that's that they're all working together and not with us. So that's always been my concern, and I have seen a lot of stuff that would support that, especially during COVID. I mean, come on. All these countries that don't get along with one another, and you have COVID hit, and all of a sudden, all these countries miraculously come up with this magic vaccine, and I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I don't think that was happenstance. I think that there was some backroom deals made. And I'm not quite sure that what we're seeing is reality. My dad, and I've probably said this a million times, and I'll continue to say it a million more, always said, don't believe anything you hear and only half of what you see. And that was some incredibly good advice from the old man. And true. And in fact, these days, you can't even believe half of what you see. Especially with AI. I mean, I could show you a picture of the Pope with the Rastafarian hat on smoking a big old blunt. But it didn't really happen. Not at least in that picture. Can't speak about any other time of his life. But now we can't even believe much at all of what we see. So I always, the reason why I keep my mind open like that is so that I can pivot. And it's much easier to pivot when you have an open mind and when you war game out these other possibilities instead of hyper-focusing on just one particular thing. And that's why I always keep that option up there. That, okay, they're working together and we're all about to get a good one. We'll see. Either way, this AI thing, oof. I had a little fun with AI today, though, I must say. What was it I did again? I was joking with somebody on Facebook about it. Let me go to the last comment, and so I can see again. Let's see. Okay, here it is. This is what it was. The little business I'm working on here at home is Oddballs Odd Repair. Like I've said, that's the name of the business. So I asked ChatGPT. I kind of gave him the gist of everything, what it was the business done, but also the quirkiness of me. And yeah, Green Greg's. Is he still around, by the way? I don't know why you retracted it, but is old boy still around? I haven't seen him in like some time. I asked, where the hell did that go to? Not into the window, that's for sure. So I asked ChatGPT, gave it as much idea of what was up. That's the guy that sells worms, right? I think it's the guy that sells worms. So anyway, I asked it for a good font, because I wanted kind of a quirky, kind of humorous, kind of looking font. And so, Fredoka, I think it was the font that it gave me. And that's it. It asked me, ChatGPT asked me if I wanted it to do a mock-up, like you're looking at there. And I thought, yeah, why not? So it did a mock-up of that font and a sign with a different font. There was two of them I picked out to try. That's the one I'm going with. My sign's not going to look like that. It's just going to have that font. Oh, yeah. Yep. I remember him saying that. I haven't seen him in a long time. I need to dig up his channel again. But I decided to get a little funny with ChatGPT. And, even though it's a computer, a script, I try to be nice. So after it gave me the images and stuff, I told ChatGPT, thank you. I certainly prefer the Fredoka. It's kind of scary how good AI is. It is amazing the things you have helped me with. Please don't take over humanity. I'm just kidding. Thank you, and until next time. And ChatGPT replied to me. Actually, I could have probably brought that up. I could have brought it up. ChatGPT replied to me, "You're very welcome, and thank you for the kind words and humor. I'm glad Ferdoka fits the vibe of Oddball's Odd Repair. It's a great match. And don't worry, I'm here to assist humanity, not replace it or rule it." And it said, "Best of luck with your business and your sign. Until next time." So I kind of thought it was cute. But, gremlins were cute too, right? Until after midnight, and that was like ugly. Gremlins were cute too, though. Even my opinion, the gremlin cards were cute, but most people don't share that. Yeah, that's what they want you to think. That's a good one, Eddie A's. That's a good one. That's pretty much the truth, though. Yeah, I'm kind of uneasy about the AI stuff, but I do use it, mainly for making images more than anything. But boy, it came up with, I personally think it was a good font. I might try to cant the letters a little bit and maybe, haphazardly put them on the sign so they're not all just level and correct looking. Because the whole idea is oddball. Oddball's odd repair. And I want my sign to be kind of oddball, fit the business. And me. Because that's why I named the business Oddball, because of me. Yep, gremlin cards, man. To this day, I want one. I will, my last breath, I'll still want a gremlin car. AMC Gremlin. I have always wanted one of those things. Now, the Pacer, you can have that ugly looking UFO looking thing. But those gremlins, man, they were cool looking. And you can put a V8 in them without too awful much trouble. But that's what I always wanted. I wanted a gremlin, and if I would have gotten a gremlin and had the money, I would have one way or another shoved a big block in that thing. Always dreamed of that. Ever since I was a teenager. Wanted a gremlin. Everybody thought I was nuts. But, I don't know. My older brother had a thing for Pintos, so, and I owned one of those. I think I had a 79 Pinto. He had actually helped me get it, and that was the biggest pain in the ass that I've ever owned. That Pinto was a pain in the ass. And it wasn't, it wasn't all, it's not that it was a Ford Pinto. It was just, oh, a Javelin. Oh my goodness, they are sweet. What do you mean Google hypocrisy? Just Google a word? I've actually done that before. But I don't know why you're saying to do it again. What about it? I Googled it. Practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform. Pretense. Then on the right side, it says hypocrisy is the practice of feigning to be what one is not or to believe what one does not. The word hypocrisy entered into the English language, c. 1200, with the meaning the sin of pretending to virtue or goodness. Oh, Google's Copilot. Huh. Really? Okay, I follow what you're saying. So if you ask it to make a image of a woman, am I reading that right? With brass? What am I not reading right there? That's what I see. Make an image of a woman with brass. It will say no, but then give you... Oh, okay. You meant breasts. I bet Grok could do it. Without a doubt. I bet Grok could do it. Hang on. We have to know. It is now our assignment. Wait, did I, okay, there it is. Dang it. Make me an image of Mr. T with triple D breasts. Right? That's right. That's what we need. We need to see Mr. T with some big old melons. Oh, that's cool, brother. Holy cow! Well, I didn't mean quite like that, but okay. I guess we get what we get. I hope you're not eating. I pity the fool. Oh, my goodness. Well, it does Mr. T. Grok does. I know GPT won't do it. It's too politically correct. Yeah, that definitely should have had nipple rings. But anyway, that's just wrong. Anyway, yeah, I enjoyed joking with it earlier with the, when I had it come up with a font. And I kind of half like the sign that it came up with. But it's too plain. So, I don't know what I'm going to do quite yet. So, I'm going to use the political yard sign that we had in the yard for the one guy that unsuccessfully ran for city council. I'm just going to use that and go over it. I mean, it's not like I don't have the sign vinyl and vinyl cutter to do it. So, I'm just going to remake that sign. You see enough of that crap where you live. Yeah, that's going to be one of my projects for tomorrow, to get that sign done. So I've got it ready. And then I'm just going to put it out front, mainly so people know. I mean, two reasons. For one, it is advertising. People drive by and, oh, look, I wonder if that guy could fix my weed eater, Jot my phone number down, give me a call. But it's essentially just going to have the Oddballs Odd Repair and then my phone number. But I want something else on it. Some kind of icons or something just to fancy it up a little bit. Beer Week. That's probably like looking up Blue Waffle, huh? Oh, Bear Week. It's, here's the thing. These glasses, they do nothing for where that monitor is, right? The text is blurry whether I put them on or take them off. And it really sucks because I have to have it, if I'm going to read this piece of paper, receipt here, I can't do it without glasses. I mean, I can strain and squint and get a headache and do it. But I pretty much need to have glasses. But that stupid monitor is the exact distance away from me to where it's fuzzy either way. Oh, Provincetown? So yeah, that sucks. And it's crazy because when I watch a movie, if I put the movie up there, full screen, if I put my glasses on, it's fuzzy. If I take them off, it's perfect. But my main monitors here, yeah, not so much. Hard to read the stuff. I know I can make it bigger. I don't want to. Windows is not a fan, and neither is Chrome or any other browser. Is not a fan of playing around with the sizes. It's okay, like on Windows, it's okay if you use the different sizes that it gives you, like for icons and stuff, the small, medium, and large. But if you go and try to do anything outside of those parameters, Windows is not a fan of doing that, and neither is like Chrome or Firefox or any of the others either. Because it actually has to regenerate all of that. Instead of just showing you what it's got to regenerate it first and then show you. You can run into a lot of issues that way. That's why I always tell people, don't zoom in on browsers. Don't have the desktop icons 10 times the large size. So I keep my desktop icons the normal size. I don't make them any larger. So, but that's because I usually clutter my desktop with, worse than I do my desktop. So both my desktops are always a mess. So anyway, I don't know. I don't have much else. I'm gonna get on out of here so I can get some rest. I'm tired. So I'm not sure what's going on, but it's gotten me wore out all the time. Just exhausted and wore out all the time. And it's not burnout or anything like that. I've got something medical going on. And whatever, Just it is what it is. I will certainly be keeping a close eye on things, and I would encourage others to. There is just so many hot spots right now. Pakistan and India, India and China, China and Taiwan. Of course, Ukraine and Russia, Iran and Israel. It's never ending. And, don't be in fear over it at any level. Please don't. Like anything else, just one day at a time. Don't let your emotions lead. Try to find the best sources you can for information. Shy away from those providing misinformation. That seems to be a hard thing for a lot of people to do. But don't freak out. Yeah, that's what I see coming, Hetty Hayes, is a world war. That is absolutely what I see on the doorstep. It seems I don't doubt that for a second. The only thing that I can't put my finger on is where it's going to start. That's a toss-up. So, I guess J.D. Vance must have made the comment. I'm sharing it out on X right now. U.S. ready to spend another 100 days on Russia-Ukraine peace, says Vance. Well, we'll see. Anyway, I am gonna boogie on out of here, and God willing, I'll talk to you all tomorrow. So I appreciate you coming. And oh no, I won't be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I hope I'll see you Sunday then. So won't be here tomorrow. Anyway, I hope to see you Sunday night. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Be mindful of the weather. Lots of crazy weather going on across the country. And I hope you have a good night. Have a good one, Walter, and Hetty Hayes, and Kevin, and was there somebody else that chatted earlier? I can't remember. I don't think so. But anybody else that's out there, you have a good one, and we shall see you Sunday. Shalom. Bless you too, Kevin, and all of you. Walter, Hetty, everybody out there. Seriously, bless you.
Shalom.